Thankfully, they nailed the conclusions very well. Here are my thoughts on the series finale of Stranger Things. Now, obviously, there are going to be spoilers here for the finale of Stranger Things, but also the entirety of season 5. So if you haven't seen the entire season, then beware. Now, as a conclusion to the show, to these stories, to these character arcs, I thought they did a really good job at wrapping that up. Just as an episode, I thought it was good enough, but maybe not great. And also, it is probably the weakest out of all the season finales. But also, there's not much they could do here considering the fact that season 5 has been kind of underwhelming and felt like they were running in circles, especially in episode 7. And I feel like if season 5 was better, this finale would have been better, and I really would have loved to see that. I think most of my problems with this episode are in the first half, where it felt like they were kind of walking with no direction. It felt like they were running around in circles again. And the final battle as a whole did feel quite anticlimactic. But again, the final battle didn't feel as grand, as epic, as big as it could have been. And I really did wish that there were more stakes here. And I thought that the way they killed off Vecna was quite anticlimactic, despite the fact that I am happy they didn't try to give him a redemption arc. And also the way they end the story with Elle, I'm just quite unsure of it. However, I did think that this episode gave the spotlight to some characters who have not received the spotlight in this season. It was great to see Joyce deliver the kill shot to Vecna. It was completely unexpected, but it did make sense considering the fact that her son was kidnapped and that was what caused all of this, so I'm glad it came full circle. And where I thought this episode really shined was the epilogue, knowing that all of this is coming to an end, and I thought they wrapped up the characters really beautifully here. I liked Dustin's valedictorian speech calling out the principal for demonizing Eddie and the Hellfire Club. It was a really sweet moment when Hopper proposed to Joyce. And of course, Mike, despite being an NPC most of the season, I thought that they redeemed his character in this episode. He got the most emotional moment when the original gang and Max were all playing D&D to end all of this, and he started telling the stories of his friends through these characters, and then he also came up with that theory of Elle. But I also like the fact that they kept Elle's ending as like an open ending that's up to your own interpretation. You can believe Will's theory, you cannot believe his theory, and you don't really know what's going on with her, and I really like that. In the end, despite the fact that the season is heavily flawed and there are some things that could have been fixed in the finale, I am happy with the way they concluded the show, and I am glad that the show exists.